All right, so this is a video on how to take your 3D assembly in SolidWorks and come up with 2D geometry to cut out on the laser. So here's our assembly. This is the demo car that Mr. Plurd built, and it's got all the different pieces in it. You can see over here on the assembly that most of it is individual parts, but there are a couple sub-assemblies that were built. I put the rear wheel assembly together and the front wheel assembly. We don't need any of that geometry though, so that'll be all right. And then the electric motor is an assembly as well. But for our demo today, we're going to focus on this main car body. You will need to do this for each part, but you aren't going to have to do it twice for these two parts because they're the same thing. All right, we've got the main body, the support at the bottom, this middle support, and the top support. So we have three different shapes that we're going to have to take in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open that side. I'm going to normal to that, and you'll see there's our geometry that we need to cut out. And it would be really complex to have to try to recreate that in Illustrator, but what we're going to do is we're going to have SolidWorks do all the work for us. So we're going to go up here to File, we're going to Save As, and we're going to go down to DXF file. All right, and we're just going to leave it named the same thing and hit Save. It's going to prompt us and say that we can look at different views. So we could turn this, but this is the view that we want to use. So we're just going to hit OK. And it's going to pull those lines out for us. So we're going to go ahead and click Save on this. And so now we have a DXF file of our car part. So we're going to come over here into Illustrator, and we're going to do File, New from Template. I already have the template saved on my computer. If you need that template, which you guys will, if you go over to Drafting Cone, under Section X, Laser Materials, we have the template right here. So you guys will have to download that and use that template. Back in Illustrator, we have the template open. The template is of the whole laser bed. So when we bring our car in, it should only take up a small section of this. We're not going to make it the whole size. The cool thing about exporting the DXF is if our assembly fits together right, and then we export that shape, and we bring that shape into Illustrator at a 1-to-1 scale, then we cut it out, it's all going to fit together because we've already assembled it virtually. So we're going to go to where we saved, and we're going to drag that DXF into our Illustrator file. We want original size. We want it scaled 1-to-1 and in inches because that's what we drew it in. If you drew it in millimeters or centimeters, you would need to switch that, but I'm pretty sure everybody used inches. I'm going to hit OK, and that's going to open this. The first thing we're going to do, our SolidWorks is for education, so it always puts a stamp on it. So we're going to delete the stamp. We're going to select all of our geometry. I'm doing Control C to copy that. I'm going to come back over to my template and paste that in there. So now I have the geometry of my one car part in here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to SolidWorks, go back to my assembly. I'm going to grab the next part that I want to do. I'm going to open that. Normal to the side that I want. File, Save As. Go down to DXF, save the DXF, apply this. Now, one thing, and I don't think any of you are going to have this issue, but if there is a line that you don't want on your drawing exported, you can select it in here And if it's highlighted in red, it will not export it. So you can take some things out if you need to. So we'll save that. Again, we'll go back to our folder. We're basically just going to drag that into Illustrator so it opens. You could also do File Open. Again, we want original size, 1:1. Hit OK. Get rid of our stamp on here. Select it all. Copy it. Go back over to our template file and put this in here. So how many of these X's do we need to cut out? Just one. The other X on there has a hole in it for that middle support. So we only need one of those, but we need two of the car body. So I'm just going to copy and paste that and get another car body in here. Now we want to think about our material management, not having a bunch of waste. So when we do actually go to do this, we're going to want to nest everything tightly so that we're not wasting material. And with this one, I can click on it here. One thing that we probably want to do just because of the shape of it is we could take and we could rotate one of these and then nest them together nicely so we have as little bit of waste as possible. All right. And then, so once we get all of our parts in here, then we can take it over to the laser and laser it. Select everything. Up in the template, there's only certain colors that you can use, and I have only the colors that the laser will recognize. And we have it set up so that blue cuts all the way through the material, so we're going to select blue. On the right-hand box, this is the outline box in Illustrator. The left side box is the fill box. Then we're going to come over here to our stroke, which is our line weight or our line thickness, and we're going to change that to 0.001, so 1/1000th of an inch wide. By doing that, it gives the laser a nice thin line to follow. So you'll save this, and then we can open this over with the laser and get it cut out once you have all of your pieces on this. Do you guys have any questions? Do you want me to go through that with one more part just so we see that process again? Okay. You want me to do one more? Okay. So we're going to go back to SolidWorks. We've already done the top X, the sides. So let's do this middle support piece. So we'll open that. We're going to normal to the face that has the geometry we want. We're going to do File, Save As. Go to DXF. Save that. I want all of these lines, so we're not going to edit that. And we're just going to hit Save. Go to our folder here. Open middle support DXF in Illustrator. Import it the original size. Get rid of our stamp. Select it all, copy, take it to our template, paste. Whoops. Change to blue. Change our stroke to 1/1000th of an inch.